Hey everyone, it's your girl Maddie here, aka Beavermosh, and I'm here today to talk to you about Bestiary of Immortal Hunger from the New Orleans, Louisiana based band Abysmal Lord. And this is a Hell's Headbangers Records release. And this is the third studio album from this war metal trio. And Abysmal Lord's music has no flash, none whatsoever. This is just pure, raw, bludgeoning aggression thrown at you and filtered through the nastiest, filth collecting lens imaginable. This is a very compact package as well. It starts off punching you in the gut, and it continues to do that for the next 30 minutes up until this album's conclusion. And at the end, when it reaches that point, you are compelled to want more of that punishment, so you will hit the play button once more. If you are unfamiliar with the style that this band plays, war metal, well, blasphemy is one of the icons of the genre. And I have talked to you about black and death metal before. War metal is kind of the inverse. When you listen to war metal, you're being reminded of black metal in the aesthetics and just kind of how it's delivered and presented. But it borrows from death metal in that it often incorporates those more low-end, heavy, pounding guitars, and sometimes you get those more deep growls that you more associate with a death metal approach. And this band, which is sometimes very common in war metal, has this very deliciously over the top fixation on like the occult and satanic imagery that I happen to enjoy quite a bit. The first track here, called Starvation Mass, you get this very rudimentary, like hyper simplistic synth that is paired with these very bizarre vocals that come with this very peculiar kind of delay effect. It's not much on paper at all, but it does excel in conjuring that intense anxiety that the band wants you to experience when listening to their music. Satanic Return, it's kind of the first heavy hitter here, and you get these very grisly, sandpaper-esque guitars. The drums here are disgusting. You get these hammering snares and these ultra thin, very compressed cymbals. Nothing here by a conventional measure should be held in esteem or praised, but the achievement of utter ugliness is the point. And they definitely succeed on their goal on this album. Glowing Baphomet is a doomier cut featuring these extremely muddy and violent guitar attacks. There is that punkish philosophy coming through of just energy and raw emotion and aggression as the top priority above everything else. And don't go into this record if you want to be impressed by like intricate musicianship. If you want virtuosity, you're not gonna get it here. If you're going in for like big choruses or sticky hooks, stay away from this. But go into this if you're interested in experiencing brutality at its most naked and bare bones form. On the title track here, you get these very percussive and smashing guitars, which are a staple in the war metal genre. The vocals here are completely untamed with these scathing snarls that are held up by this nihilistic fury. The bass here, the band bumps the gain on it up to like 78 out of a scale of 10. It's so uncomfortable to listen to, but that's in a good way, like that. In a weird way, that's a compliment here. Here you do get some examples of the band lead sensibilities. Like they do have some soloing here. You get a particularly scorching one on this track that seems to kind of erupt out of the already very furious momentum that this track is kind of on a trajectory for. On Obscure Grottos of Hell, you get these uncontrollable jerks. The guitars and drums sync up with these off-kilter and dizzying patterns. There is a moment here as well where the vocalist lets out this nauseating, distorted howl that kind of introduces these completely atonal leads that sort of lend themselves into these. It's sort of crawl underneath this already dense and are swallowed by this wall of sound. And Carcass of the Living God is a track where the drums really take front and center with these furious fills. I mean, the toms are just sound like they're being completely destroyed. You get these uncompromising snare shots. And the guitars and the bass work on this track and exist mainly to add texture underneath the percussion here. Ultra Expulsure has a thrashier approach. The guitars chug along with a lot of speed and intensity. I like some of the dual vocals here as if one of these demon spawns letting out whatever sounds you get from the vocals on this record, just in case that wasn't inaccessible enough for you. On Towering Leviathan, I love these even guitar smacks that weave in and lead yourself and crawl into these very chromatic, kind of cascading riffs. The track feels like it's burrowing itself underground, and the vocalist here just vomits pure hell right into your face. Deny the Paradise is a great closing track. It ends the album with something so caustic and blistering and chaotic. And it's just pure violence recorded on tape. And this is just, in conclusion, this is just an incredibly toxic record that just buries you as you listen. It's punishing, it's unhinged, just features the purest form of aggression. This is definitely not a complex record at all, but it is a very effective one that does exactly what it wants to do. And those are my thoughts. If you like this video, please hit that like button. It really helps get the video out there. If you would be so kind and enjoy what I do and want to be notified of my next one, please subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Comment below if you have any thoughts. I really love interacting with those, and I love that I get to do it more and more as the channel seems to grow. I have a Twitter you can follow. Link to that is in the bio of this YouTube channel. And my name is Maddie, aka Beavermosh. Keep it metal, and this is me signing off.